Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. The markets did react pretty much, or they stayed in line with expectations, and they're adhering right now to the labeling and the count that I presented yesterday. And that was, I had shifted something from an alternate view to the preferred, one of the preferred views, and shoved the previous preferred view, one of them, aside because this is actually working better and fitting in terms of structure and in Fibonacci. So let's kind of get into it here. On the 4-hour chart, you can see the detail inside. I believe I had that done yesterday. We continued to, we did have a diagonal finishing a fifth, but it was a much smaller fifth. And in fact, it was a minuet fifth wave to complete the minute fifth wave to complete the third wave of minor degree. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and now we're falling in the 4. Let me break this down to the the 1-hour chart, or at least 30 days, so we could see the whole move. We got 4, we got 5, and then we have an A and a B. This was all ugly and therefore remains and fits well inside of a corrective structure. So that's why I've labeled this out. It's a complex A wave, but it is an A wave nonetheless. And then we get a very complex B wave, but it remains a B wave. And that puts us in a minute wave C. And as we come down, we'll be completing minor wave 4. And we'll be looking for a minor fifth wave to take us higher. And eventually, I hate to say it, additional new highs. And there'll be more, I'll be giving more on break points. Obviously, the biggest one is 18,709, which is the current high. So the market would be expected in a minor fifth wave to go that far. As soon as we have the marker for the fourth wave, and then one more time, I'll just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to wave 1 to wave 4, and we'll get the measurements for that fifth wave. And we'll be able to hone in because we continue to have the C wave. So I'll reinstate the C wave, and then I'll reinstate the B wave. So those will go back up. And the ones that still apply will go back up. I believe that the 100% here and the 1.618 of a C wave to an A wave will become relevant again if the market's going to go. Now, this, I'm thinking we're going to pull into this minor wave 4 soon, like maybe, well, let me explain as I go down. I'll be looking at a 4-hour chart. I'm going to go right down to the 15-minute chart, and we're going to take a look at all of this inside here. So again, what we're doing is a minor fourth wave. There is minute wave A of minor 4, minute wave B of minor 4, and puts us in the C wave, which will consist of 5 waves of minuet degree, okay, of which we have waves 1, 2, 3, and possibly 4. That would be at today's high, 17,988. That may be completed. The minuet wave 4, we drop down to put in minuet 5, and then that then completes the minute C wave and the minor 4. Now, initially, right, we're going to do the same thing that I would do to the larger pattern. We're doing it right here, 1 to 4, so we can get measurements on wave 5. So pulling this, let's just go out one more to the 30-minute, and then we'll open it up again so we can kind of start to see in. All right, so this kind of fit, and then we get 1, 2, and then we're coming back down because we're looking for 5 waves down to put in wave 5. Now, the first marker remains the same, and that is 0.382. And that also here on the nose, basically, one is 17,740. The other is 17,742. 618 is 742. This is 740. And so, but that's only 618. Now, we'd basically be looking for equality, and that's down here at 17,591. we have, and that is associated with a no-fly zone. So let me go out and see what that's all about. It is still sort of relevant because that is the fourth wave of one lesser degree. There's that one, and then, but there's this one. This is a minor degree. One lesser degree is minute, and that puts us here. So that could hold actually as support or just dip below and then quickly retake. And here's what's going in favor of that 17,600 should provide some decent support. From here, we've got there, and we have this coming back and holding the upside. So this moved in as resistance now, unless we overnight come back and go additionally higher. Again, the no break in terms of this pattern being a fourth wave comes in at 18,115. So above that with power knocks us out and leaves it as a 3. I hate to say it, but that's the Elliott on that. But I am looking for the market to turn lower and to finish this and put in the minor 4, and then we turn. Now, moving in favor, there is, and this I got through Spot Gamma, by the way, and I highly recommend Spot Gamma. If you trade options, it's got a learning curve for sure. But if you've been trading for a while and you understand options, it's fantastic data. And it has to do with 0 DTE, it has to do with volatility, it has to do with the different markets, and it's very well put together. So this, they basically have put together and deciphered that after the 15th of April, usually about the 16th, 17th, but usually coming in here. Now, we've got a big expiration coming up on Friday. You see that they're starting to buy stuff now on Tuesday. You saw they're buying. And what are they buying? Well, they're buying NVIDIA. They're buying Supermicro. They're buying AMAT and AMD. Now, they kind of maybe came into Microsoft a little bit, but you know that flows. What are they selling? They're selling Apple. So that's kind of a mixed bag, but still, you start to see them coming in. So here's the concept that after tax day, the market reaches a low and then will shoot a rally. And that is kind of, to me, and a quickie, all right? Just to do these little power ups because of the release or the anticipated release of what's coming on Friday, right? Which is April expiration, and it's already tuned to be up to be pretty hefty. I think last reading I had was it was 321 or 371 billion dollars coming off, having to be adjusted maybe, but that's kind of the size of this expiration. So it's pretty big. And we should get some decent movement out of it. As Gamma gets released, as Delta gets changed, as things kind of go through their motions to get to that expiration price. Now, putting that together with we're getting close to reaching a bottom that could then count out as minor wave 4. Then if that occurs, and again, here's our support. First one is 17,740. Second one is 17,591. And then we have 17,440. And that would be an important one as well, because it's just, again, additional support underneath via another 4. So we keep finding the 4s on the different levels. But below this, they get pretty small, right? Because here we're trying to put in the minor, we're using the minuet, we're using the minute, and then this would be minuet again within wave 3. So, but it was a 4. All right, so I'm looking for this thing to pull in, put in the bottom, and then the true test, or I shouldn't say the true test, but the true key to are we really done and we're going to drop into this minor 5th wave and just shoot higher would be that it happens on Friday morning. That we start this right into expiration, or maybe it'll just continue, right? We're seeing some strength coming in off and on and here and there, but yet it's getting pressured from other sectors. from other factors. So it's a pure technical with the whole, after tax day rally. It is a technical type of a move. And it is being supported by gamma and options flows in preparation for Friday. So we could get our bottom put in and then launch. And we've seen that with expirations, with expiration plays, with monetizing a position. So they could be monetizing it via the future. They could be monetizing it again via just some of the options. There's a whole bunch of stuff that can go on. So that would be here. And again, I'm just going to bring this NASDAQ down and let's review it one more time. I think we can do it on the hourly chart. If we have the A and the B and we're down 1, 2, there's the 3. I did put in an ever so slight and it fits very cleanly. And then all of this, it could be the 4, again, 17,988 completion point. We hook it up with wave 1, right? There's the start, there's the finish, down to here, and we get our fibs for coming off. Most popular or most common is the 100% equality, and that's 17,591. We've got 2 strong support levels right there with them. The first one being 17,740. The second one being 17,623. So all in an area that could complete it. We'll be watching because we want to see 5 waves of minuet degree. So could be, decent size, but should be 5 waves down. All right, over in the S&P, it is actually the same story, and that's kind of also what gives me a little bit better feeling that this particular count is playing out now in 2 markets, and actually at the same degree. Other markets seem to also have within their counts periods where they should be, doing what they're doing right now. I just have to go back and actually fill in those blanks. But everybody seems to be kind of doing the same thing, and I believe it's in preparation for Friday's expiration, which is pretty big. Again, dollar-wise, it's very big. I think maybe it can get pushed up to 400 billion from where it sits. All right, here in the S&P, all right, let's go back out to that 4-hour chart because I also did this chart and I filled in the blanks and I moved. I have 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3, and then the 4th wave. Now, before we were counting from, I believe here, a 5th wave. And that obviously has changed. And then, but there has been, it's not the cleanest of 5th waves or even 3rd waves. So again, I look at the whole thing as a completing C wave. So I'm leaving it as such. And if I bring this down on the hourly chart, there's the 5 and the 3. And then we have the A wave, A of 4, minor 4. Actually, this should be 1 up. Stay with me 1 second while I do this. And it would be a minute wave A of minor 4. And here again, we also have this. Gotta catch myself. In minor 4. And then these become, again, wow. Should have checked this out. I thought I did look, right? Let's just put them correctly. And there comes the perfectionist. And then 2, and I'll bring the other ones up. They can kind of sit where they are for right now. So then what we have here is we are inside minute wave C down to finish minor wave 4, which began up here at 53.33. And let's just say, where do we think we can find some support for this? And now here are our numbers. So let me bring this down to the 15-minute chart, and then we get to see inside this thing. So let me open it up, and let me open it up again. So we could look down inside of all of this. So again, the fourth wave, small little internal fourth wave. So we're still coming down within a fifth wave down, unless this is it right here. Then we got one more wave up here. Let me back this up a little bit, realizing where I am. I'm looking for the completion of that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just kind of got myself lost in degree. Yep, okay, got it. So this all has to be, yeah. I'm gonna have to hurry this guy up a little bit. So it still would only be 3 down, 4, and then that 3 comes over here. Unfortunately, I'm going to put it right there for right now. And then I'm going to open this up so we can look inside. If I put the 3 there, the 4, it can be, but you see how this would then have to nosedive. So this becomes a little bit more difficult. I apologize for that. So I could possibly put it right here, and we got a little bit of an irregular. I actually can leave it there, but then I am looking for wave 5. And then this becomes, because I need to up this. This is minute wave C. These are minuet degree. These are sub minuet degree. And the other one, I have the NASDAQ finished minuet wave 3 and then put in minuet wave 4. And the S&P is like a little bit behind. So I'm thinking that I need to change this a little bit. So even if I put it on the same pattern, and I moved this 4 over to here and put the 5, 3, and a 4, ABC 4. Yeah, I hate to do this, but I'm going to, just for the sake of the continuity between the counts, because I would believe that they're going to go together. Let's say that. So, and thank you for indulging me while I go through this exercise. And I'm put the 3 in there, the 5, and then that 3. Come on. Thank you. All right, so since it took a while on that NASDAQ, I don't want to go back and redo this whole update. So thank you for bearing with me while I did this. All right, so that puts the 3 there. And we're not sure on the 4 just yet, because this could be A, B, C, B, and then we get a C back up to into here, and that gets raised just a little bit. So I actually will take this off for right now, but we're going to give a kind of a guesstimate. If indeed the 4 is here, then we got this. No, that was for this 5. Let me get rid of that. And because we got to go from here. All right, come on. And there. And then over to here. Changes it up just a little bit. Okay, so if this is the 3, and this indeed is the 4, and we don't need to raise this up, then what we're looking for, again, because here's our support levels, right? 5050, 5,050 is a very important level for the S&P, which is another reason why I believe this will be a 4, and we're going to come down into 5, and then we will blast. I don't think the S&P will continue to put in lower lows. Now, it can break 5,050 for sure. And then the most important, the biggest strike right now coming into Friday that remains extremely important in terms of a call or a put wall, and this one, I believe it's the put wall, is 55,000. Just plain 5,000. Massive. And I think that is pretty much should be strong support for this expiration cycle. So here we have. This is 4, and we're coming down in 5. We have 5,055 to 5,050. Then we have 5,014. And then underneath that, we have 49.82. But again, that would be breaking the put wall. And that would send a very serious message in my book. And in my analysis, it would send me a very strong message if they broke it and just kept going. Because if they break it, I believe at the same time they're opening a floodgate to a lot of adjusting that would need to take place. And that would really kind of drive the market pretty quickly. I think it could, right? You know, if they break that, your next strength stop is not till here. So that's a lot. So not looking for it, but if it happens, it happens. And it would tell us another story that, okay, tops are really all in, and we're in that larger move down. And that would suggest that the S&P is not going to stop anytime soon. It's just going to go for a while. All right. Now, so again, same deal. Tax day. So technically, algorithmically, the suggestion is we get a bounce. We get a strong bounce, a spike bounce off of tax day, which was yesterday. They give it a day or two. Then maybe it even rolls to Friday. I don't know. Or it happens before Friday. I don't know. But I'm just saying it's out there, and I'm going to keep tabs on it. And this just needs to come down and put it in a low. We got a minor 4, and then it goes. Being that we are close, I don't know. I don't want to stretch account to severity and then have the market come in and just say, well, this is what we were going to do anyway. So I'm going to let this all play out. So far, it is accordingly and holding to fibs and putting in a decent pattern that I can actually count. All right, so moving averages, everything pretty much kind of getting in lined up to go down. There you have the 200, the 50, the 20, and the 13 is in there somewhere as well. Oh, can't really find them. There's the 200, there's the, oh, they're grouped together right there. So, all right. So that's going to be it. Now, as far as I think tomorrow is very, very light in terms of data. Yeah, Fed Beige book at 2 p.m. Eastern. That was it. Jerome Powell was out talking today. He had a little bump here and there, but nothing too big. So earnings calendar for tomorrow, there are a lot. There's a lot that'll be reporting throughout the day and then after the bell. So we are in earning season earnestly, you might want to say. On Thursday, I'm not sure the time, I think is after overnight. It's kind of like a moon. So, in any case, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. That's where they are going to reporting Netflix reports on Thursday. Intuitive Surgical, Marsh McLennan, Blackstone, Infosystems. Yeah, quite a bit. Nokia. Key Group, Ally Financial. Yeah, a lot of reports, Alaska Air. So a little bit of everything comes on Thursday. And that's where I'm going to complete this for today. Our next update will be on Wednesday, April the 17th.